is going to be the final chapter in my Get to Know Me series. For those of you who are new to this series, this was basically just a scrapbook that I put together in high school for a project, and I have been going back through this and sharing little bits and pieces of my life with you all. I am going to link all of the previous videos in the description below for those of you who have not seen them and would like to, or for anyone who wants to go back and check them out. This is kind of bittersweet because I have really enjoyed sharing all of this with you all. I think it's been, probably 10 months that I've been, sharing bit by bit of this book with you guys, and I've really enjoyed it, and I hope that you all have as well. So I'm just going to jump right into things and get started. The title of this chapter is At Last I Am a Senior. My senior year has been so much better than I ever expected it to be. I only had 4 classes the first semester. It's nice being able to leave school early and go to work. This year is just flying by. I think it's because I'm staying so busy. I'm only taking 2 classes this semester and working at least 35 hours a week, Monday through Friday. And I remember, I think senior year was my favorite year because the first semester, like I said, I had 4 classes, and then the second semester I only had 2, and one of those classes was 0 period, so it started, I want to say, like at 6:30, maybe 7, and then I just went to first period after that, and I was out for the rest of the day. It was so much fun, and I just went to work straight after that, so yeah, I definitely stayed busy. I've noticed that this year I've started to associate myself with people whom I normally would not. Through experience, I've learned that you can never have too many friends. My grades have been excellent this year. Last semester, I struggled with geometry, but managed to come out of the class with a 78, which is a C, so I was happy. And I think this was about the time where I kind of broke away from my core group of friends, and everybody kind of has their little group that they hang out with in high school. I started really interacting more with just different people, not just at school, but just in different groups that I was in, whether it would be church or even at work. I started hanging out with people from work on the weekends, people that were much older than I was, but people that I'd known for quite a while. So it was just kind of that, I guess, letting go of your high school friends and moving more towards into adulthood, I guess is what it was. In February, I got in my first and hopefully last wreck. It was really scary. I've always been a careful driver and never thought that I would be in a wreck. The good thing was that it was not my fault, but the bad thing was that it was a hit and run. After the person hit me, he just drove off. I pulled into the closest parking lot and thought the driver of the van that hit me would surely turn around and come back, but he never did. Thankfully, I was not injured. It just shook me up. I was really upset about the whole thing and realize now that it could have been a lot worse. So this really, really scared me at the time. My first car was a 1987 Honda Civic, and I loved that car. That was my baby. I had that car, I want to say 6 or 7 years, and then I bought the car that I have now. But I had braces at the time, and I was going to my orthodontist. I had an orthodontist appointment, and I was turning at a light. The green arrow had just come on, and the other light on the opposite side had just turned red. Well, someone came through the light after it had turned red and hit me, and my car spun. It didn't make a complete turn, but it 17 or 18 at the time, really young, didn't know what to do. So I pulled over into the parking lot of KFC, which was literally right there. And I'm looking at all these people who are sitting at the light right here, and they're just with their hands over their mouth and can't believe what happened. And I'm thinking in my head, surely somebody's going to come see if I'm okay. Nothing. The person who hit me did not stop. They just kept going. Nobody else came to see if I was okay. So I called the police first, and then I called my parents, and the police made a report of it. But I have no clue. All that I know is that it was a construction type of van. It was a big white van with racks on the top of it, and that's all that I knew. That's all that I saw. So that's all the information that I could give them. But it was definitely scary. My car was okay. I had to obviously have it fixed, and it was pretty expensive. I remember, of course, I had paid for it. But yeah, it was really scary though, because it was close to my gas tank, and I remember the police officer saying if they'd hit you any further, back further, it could have really been bad. So that was the only wreck that I have ever been in. I've never received a ticket or anything, so I'm a pretty good driver. It's just other people that you have to watch out for. But anyway, the highlight of my senior year was my family's annual trip to Washington, D.C. We flew up there on a Tuesday and did not leave until Sunday. This year, we didn't stay at the Grand Hyatt Hotel. Instead, we stayed at the Marriott in Wardman Park. Wardman, I think that's how you say it. It was just as nice as the Grand Hyatt, but we've been going there for years, and it just felt like a second home. I remember that trip. I was so bummed that we weren't staying at the Hyatt, but it was still a really good trip, and I have pictures in here that I'm going to show you all in just a little while from that trip. While we were in D.C., we went to the Capitol. My stepdad had meetings with the staff of Senator Max Cleland and Zell Miller. Okay, so this is really weird. As I was filming this, the light that I have set up over there started making this bubbling, crackling noise. And now I'm really freaked out, thinking that it's going to catch on fire or something. I turned it off, but I had to move it into the other room because it's being so loud. I have no clue what would cause that, and I just started using it. Now I'm really? I don't know. It was weird. It was making a crackling, I don't even, a boiling noise almost. Not the fan, the light itself was not hot, so I have no idea what's going on with it. But that was definitely weird. Okay, getting back into this. This year, we went to the zoo. We had never been there before. We had so much fun. Now, I can honestly say we have done everything there is to do in D.C., which we probably hadn't. I'm sure we could have stayed there for weeks and not done everything. This year, my stepdad purchased everyone tickets to a Wizards basketball game. I was so excited. Unfortunately, Michael Jordan just had surgery and stayed in the locker room the entire time. But it was still exciting to see Richard Hamilton from UConn play. And I talked about this in one of my previous Get to Know Me videos. I talked about not being able to see Michael Jordan play, and I talked about Richard Hamilton, who is pretty cool. So, let's see. Our seats were in the highest section of the Coliseum. I was determined to get some good pictures, though. My sister and I went on the elevator to go down a few levels. There were security guards all over the place. There was one on the elevator, and when we told him we wanted to go down to the 4th level, he said, "Do you have a ticket for that level?" But we didn't, and I said, "Yeah." I don't know why I did that, and acted like I was going to get it out. Then I said, "Actually, we were just wanting to go down and get some pictures." And he said, "Well, that's fine with me, but you'll have to check with the people down there because I don't know if they will let you or not." So we talked to the lady who was downstairs. She was really nice and said it would be okay if we took some pictures. We had been there for about 4 or 5 minutes taking pictures and watching the guys practice. Then a man that worked there came up and asked us if we had tickets to be down there. We said no, and I told him we had permission from the lady who was at the elevator. He asked me what her name was, and I told him that I did not know. Then he made us leave. I was really upset. All we were doing was trying to take pictures. I don't even remember that. I remember the game, obviously, but I don't even remember going down there and trying to take pictures of the players. March was a very sad month for me. My granddaddy passed away March 8th. This was my dad's dad. He had been sick for a very long time. The funeral was nice. There were people there whom I hadn't seen in years. I'm going to miss Granddaddy a lot, but it's good to know that he is no longer suffering. And so what happened with my grandfather passing away was that we left Washington, D.C., and when we got home, there was a message from my dad on our answering machine telling us that my grandfather had passed away. And so we turned around and basically left that same night that we got home and drove to Tennessee. We drove all night and got there for the funeral and everything. And that was the first time that I had seen my biological dad in, I don't know, at least a year, maybe 2, possibly, probably about a year and a half. So, I don't know, it was very awkward for me. It was very sad. So I remember that very well. Let's see, moving on. I guess that was it. I thought that it was longer than that, but I guess that's the end of the chapter. These next few pages that I'm going to share with you all are just pictures and some things that I took out of magazines. So this is just, I guess, I don't know, just an advertisement for the show Ally McBeal. And that was one of my favorite shows. I still love it to this day. And this is another advertisement for the show. I'm glad that I kept those. I think it's kind of neat. And this is, let's see. Oh, these are some pictures from the Wizards game that we went to in DC. There's me right there. And I guess just the players practicing. I guess this is when we took the pictures that we weren't supposed to. I don't know. I like this picture though of me. My hair used to be so much lighter. I don't know if you can really see, but it was a lot lighter than it is now. And just some more pictures. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe this is when my mom had really short hair and it looks so strange to me. I don't know. So that's my stepdad and my mom, and then that's me again. That's my brother, and there I am again. I feel like I still look pretty much the same. I just had shorter hair and braces. And these are just some souvenirs. I'm not going to show this because it's an airline ticket and it has my last name on it, but it's a ticket from Washington, D.C. and just some brochures that I kept. And then I want to show this, but it's got my grandfather's last name on it, so I'm not going to show that, but it's, well, maybe I can show it. Let me see if I can cover it up. Maybe. There, we'll do it like that. That's my grandfather, the one that passed away, and his wife, Ruby, and she was pretty much like a grandmother to us. We had known her all of our lives. And that's my grandfather again. He's the one that a lot of people say that I look like, and I this picture so much, and it's in the office. We have it like up on a bookshelf in the office along with some of his other stuff, and I just love it. But it's very special to me. It's really old. I don't know, I wish I knew the exact date on it, but this is, other than a picture of him that I had when he was like little, well, not little, he was probably a teenager, this is my favorite picture of him. So yeah, so that is pretty much it. I hope that you all have enjoyed this series. I have really enjoyed sharing all of this with you guys, and it's been really neat to just kind of look back over things and I don't know, remember things. So thank you for allowing me to share all of this with you all. And as I said, I'm going to leave the links in the description below to the previous videos for anyone who might want to check those out. And I guess that's it for this video. As always, thank you so much for watching.